you know that I'm back, back. I'm back like I never left. You dig what I'm saying? Hey, I don't know what else we gonna do, man. It's been real dope lately. We've been having some amazing people on the show. Um, if you watched the last interview with Toure, it's crazy. That little dude is talented, man. Like he gonna be something major. Don't That's our own Kendrick Lamar here or whatever. Like when you see him do something major, just know that y'all been sleeping on him for a long time, and he deserve everything he gonna get. But that being said, this next guest that I have on the show today, man, I met this dude in the back of a building in a warehouse, and he was banging beats out so cold. I was like, what the fuck? Who am I listening to? Like, what am I listening to? And he was so humble. He was sitting back there. He was like, yeah, that's me. I'm like, that's you. Who produced the beat? I did. Who engineered the session? Like, who did that arrangement and who did? I did. Who the fuck are you? Where'd you come from? He was like, I'm from around. I just be banging, you know. You need beats. You need studio time, you know. I'm like, this dude is fucking an alien. This is some crazy shit. The other day I was doing another interview and I was thinking about live instrumentation and people who can just go there. And I got on Facebook, and when I turned it on, he was doing a live show. Whole fucking show. He's composing the whole show. I always be big up in niggas. This nigga's this nigga's this nigga's like this. These are so dope. And y'all might say, he'd say everybody the best. This dude is really the best at everything. Facts. Fuck with me one time. And help me welcome to the FREEZTV world. My man Nove, the zoner, man.
What's good?
What's
man,
up,
that was a hell of an intro. God damn.
Man,
yeah.
It's so real. You dope, bruh.
I appreciate that, bro.
Like, for real. It's... I say it a lot. And I say, this dude is talented. This guy is so boom, boom. But when I say it about you, it's kind of like, who can I compare to you? Like, who? Like, who is... I had to go get like 4 niggas. You like the Kanye of Arizona.
You dig that?
Like legit, like it's legit. It's you come to my studio and do 4 sessions with people. You go to other studio, you go everywhere. People come to your studio, you produce, you engineer, arrange, you rap, you sing, you harmonize, you play live instrument. You do. Start from the beginning, man. Take us back to 89 when you was born. Take us to 94, the project we was talking about before we got on.
Yeah,
and I'm finna roll this blunt and I want to watch this movie, man.
Right,
Come on, man. Take us on this journey, man. Hey, FREEZTV fans, this is the goddamn treat. Come on, man. Take this journey with me.
Alright, so yeah, I was born in 89. I was born out here in Chandler, actually. My parents split when I was like 1, so I had my pop's side, my mom's side. I was normally with my mom. My mom was heavy in the church, so I would be around all the rehearsals, choir rehearsals, shit like that. Be around all the musicians, just over their shoulder, just looking how they putting the shit together. And when I was about 5 or 6, around that time, I started writing my own shit. And it probably sounded like crazy as hell, but to me, it was like, I already knew what I wanted to do from there. So to get fast forward, to get to the project in 1994, I chose that because at the time I was just in a space where I was not inspired by anything.
Mm-hmm.
So I tried to get back to why did I even start writing my first song? Like, why did I even tap into that energy? So with that project, it was like therapeutic for me.
And so what was it like in 1994? What was going on? Like, take us back.
1994 for me was the radio. Everything that I heard on the radio, for me as a kid, I wasn't like listening to it as like, oh, this is a good song. I'm listening to everything in that song. And I would just be on my mom. She'd be driving. She would be playing her R&B, or she'll fuck with the hip hop a little bit. But that's kind of how I learned how to play keys.
Mm-hmm.
was mimicking what I heard on the radio until I finally learned how to play myself.
I bet you was going crazy as a little kid, just sitting in the
Man.
car listening to these sounds like. And everybody else in the car might be singing the hook or whatever, but you hear the bass line.
Yeah.
You hear the snare.
Yeah.
You hear the all the sounds that's in the beat.
Absolutely. I remember like the first time I heard ODB, Give Me My Money. I didn't know who the Neptunes was at that time, but I was captivated by that beat. And it's easy, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But just the sound of it was different. Or when I heard Aaliyah for the first time and I heard the baby in the beat. I'm like, that shit is crazy. But it's unorthodox, but that shit worked.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then later found out who Timbaland was and the whole story behind that. But yeah, I've always paid attention to shit like that. So people like Neptunes and Timbaland was like a heavy influence on me because they made unorthodox shit.
That's who was like really booming around. Like who was like the hot producer? That was early 2000s when they was going stupid, huh? Like
it was like late 90s.
Late 90s.
But they was around, but they just wasn't the Neptunes and Timbaland back then. Like Pharrell was doing SWV records, like the remix to one of their joints, and he the one saying S double, and he was only 16, 17. But Teddy Riley put him on, and you know that's how he got his buzz. But he wasn't Pharrell until he did the joint with Nori in like 1998, 97. I don't know.
Yeah, 98. Nori, you know, Nori took over then. He was like the shit. In his mind, he think he was the hottest rapper at that time.
Yeah.
But he was up there. He was doing his thing. But we talking about you.
Absolutely.
So in 94, you going through that transition, you like, damn, I'm sitting in the car, I'm hearing all these sounds. How did you take that and just like take that through take us through your grade school and through your high school, and like what was it like going through these transitions but knowing in your mind you wanted to make music?
I feel like my situation was kind of dramatic. Like I said, my mom's they was divorced when I was 1 and shit. So my mom's was in the church heavy, and around this time I think I was like either 10 or 11. So let me just give you the dynamic. I would go to my pops. My pops wasn't really in the church. He was another person at the time. My mom's heavy in the church. She actually remarried to the drummer in the church. And I remember I was at my pop's crib. All the kids in my neighborhood went to this church. It was like a big black church. And you know, I'm out there telling jokes, cracking on people. There was this one girl, she did not like me, bro. She had some shit for me that day. I was on her head, and she was like, you know, that's why your mama slept with the pastor of the church. Everybody in the neighborhood just got quiet as shit, like, goddamn. So I'm looking like shit. I had the Kevin Hart face, like, you're lying. Shit. So I go home, call her, and she like confirmed that shit. So my snap into reality was super quick. And I didn't really know how to process what the fuck just happened in my life, because at the time, Mom was a superhero. And she was unflawed, you know what I'm saying? She had no flaws to her. And then when that happened, I didn't get to hear it from the adults. I got to hear it from my community at the time. Mm-hmm. So I'm getting kicked out because I'm fighting for her honor type shit. All the schools and shit. And the only way I really processed handling that situation was music. Because at that time, I wanted to be isolated. I didn't really trust or fuck with anything at that point in time. So,
that's crazy. What did that feel like, getting blasted by one of your peers? Like, that had to be like with some real shit though. Like, it wasn't like kids is some of the most harsh people.
Oh yeah, and it was a harsh got your ass.
But you just kept it a buck. You was smacking and you snapping on people.
I was on their head. So that day they just had some shit for me. But I haven't really talked about that. I put it in some of the songs on 1994, but at this point, I haven't really talked about it just because I've made amends with my moms and my pops and our relationship and how I was brought up, and I don't want to always just like put it on the forefront. Mm-hmm. But it's my experience. It's what happened in my life, so you know I tell it from my experience. But what was it like? That shit was. I think it was traumatic a little bit, mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But I just think I processed it differently than maybe I was supposed to. And I really just channeled everything into my imagination um, with music. And when I was 13, I went to live with my pops and shit. And my pops knew like I just gravitated towards music, so the nigga bought me like a keyboard and shit. I had like a 4-track tape recorder, and I would just make beats on my keyboard, bring them to school, see if the homies fuck with it. If they didn't fuck with it, they would tell me. I'll go back home, try to cook something up. But then it just got to the point where it's like, damn, I'm making beats, but I want to write to these motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? So that's when I really started diving into the artistry of like writing songs and arranging songs. Like 13, yeah.
That's dope, man. That I think that's inspirational.
Yeah.
You know, for I have a son that's 10 that's kind of like he want to make music. That's just what he want to do. Like, you know, he don't even really want to go to school. He want to come to the studio in the morning. He like, bro, I want to go with you.
Right.
And it's like, damn, bro, you gotta go to school. We standing on education first. But in his mind, he like, what I need education for if you own the studio.
Right.
Like, I want to rap.
Right.
Like, I want to make music.
Right.
And I'm like, damn, bro, go to school.
Absolutely.
So we got a deal right now. Like, finish school, you know, go to college, and tell you gonna do all of this with music. And at the same time, while you doing it, we gonna let you work in here and make your music and do. Once you get in high school and you build your little crew or whatever, y'all can come kick it.
Right.
You can do whatever you want to do, but and he just 10.
Right.
So and that's why I'm asking you these questions, because it's like some people know at a young age, like, this is what I'm gonna do. This is my destiny. Like, that's like me with cutting hair. I knew it. 7th grade, 8th grade, like, I'm gonna be a barber for the rest of my life. Like, this is what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna cut hair and talk to people.
Right.
You know.
I didn't know that. Even when I was writing songs when I was younger, or that whole situation had me really dive into music, even then I didn't make that conscious decision of like, this is what I want to be.
It just was a release for you.
It was a release, but also the other side of things is like when I stayed with my pops, our relationship wasn't the best type of situation. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times I really had to block out shit that I was going through as a teenager. And that's why I came up with the brand Zone Out. It's not just like some cool ass shit to say. Like, I really had to do that shit to not want to be here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I really had to just zone out all the experiences that I had, my relationship with my pops, and like just like zone in on this music shit. And the only time that I recognized that, you know, this is what I want to do came out of a place of I was never good enough as I am to people that I looked up to, even my pops sometimes. That's how I felt. But when I started doing music, everyone started looking at me differently, and my pops started looking at me differently. So that's when I kind of was like, I need this. And it's already in me. I'm already doing it naturally. Like, that's when I was like, this is who I'm about to be, for sure. Because that's the only place I felt. You know,
felt like a Superman. So it's the only place that made you feel like a superhero.
Yeah, for sure.
That's deep, man. That's deep that you even put it in that perspective, because it's like so many of us battle with that, you know. And I'm looking at it just through our conversation. I'm looking at you like you a child prodigy. I'm looking at you like this dude has to be a child prodigy. He has to be somebody who just was blessed with this gift from a birth and just knew that this is where he going, and you telling me like, nah, hold on, bruh. I ain't know that this where I was going. I was going through some fucked up shit, and this shit saved me.
Absolutely. Yeah, real shit. It really did. Like, now that I can look back on the experience and be like, damn, how did I navigate through that shit? It was always music. It was always music. I could be as honest as I wanted to be. I could be somebody in my music that was good enough. And then when I take my music outside of my home, which my home wasn't the best situation all the time, but when I take it to class, I take it to school, whatever, people are like, damn, nigga, where you doing this shit at? This shit is fire. But when I get back to the crib, I'm not fire. I'm not that.
How important is that growing up? Just feeling like you getting that love and that support from the crib, or
Um,
not getting it, or getting it, or not getting it.
I
Like,
got
how
it.
does that?
I got it out. I got it outside the crib in high school. That's when it really started buzzing for me. Cause I would take.
But
My
I'm not
beats
talking about music.
or something. Like,
Just love,
how was it like not receiving it?
or receiving it, or not receiving it. How important? How valuable is that? Because you said like in the house, you didn't feel like you was enough at times.
Yeah.
So
So
you
I
can,
just did this realization in 2020, and it was actually when I was having a little tough time last year. But I came to the realization that yes, I was getting love outside of my situation, but what that did was have me indulge in validation of love through other people, and through all those experiences, I never gave my chance or had the awareness to give myself love for just myself. I was always seeking it outside of the crib or outside of my situation because that validated who I was. So, I mean, I think it was important for, like, if the situation was flipped. I don't know what kind of person I would have been if I would have received that love, but I know what person I am that I didn't, and I don't regret nothing, and I don't fault nobody. I've already made amends with, everything that I've ever experienced, and I'm nothing like my experience. So I'm okay with that.
that's dope.
Yeah.
Do you think your experiences is what shaped you into what you are, or do you think not wanting to go down this same path is what shaped you into what you are, or kind of a little bit of both?
Well, there's a little bit of both, but more so like, um, I think my experiences did for sure. Because I feel like I always knew that I wasn't going to be going down that path, just because of, I guess as a kid, because you feel that shit. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to go down the same path that makes you feel a certain way. So I already knew I wasn't that. And with my experience, it was also reassuring, like, you ain't never gonna be this. You ain't never. So I was like, all right, music. You know what I'm saying? That I could be who I want to be or who I need to be through that.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
that's dope. And so you saying high school is when you started really getting
Yeah.
the love and the validation for your music.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And what was that like when you like really finally got to that moment to where it's like I'm zoned out?
That's the thing that jailed everything. I no longer cared about my experiences, because at that point, once everybody outside of my situation was like, that's that nigga, then everybody inside my situation started thinking twice, like, damn, this nigga, I know I've been making these choices or I'm treating, this person a certain way, but damn, this nigga's like cold. And by that time, when I seen that realization, I'm like, that was all I ever needed to be good enough. You know what I mean? So with music, that's just when it all gelled. Like at the end of my high school, probably like junior, senior year, I was like, all right, I don't have to live up to a standard, or I don't have to be, woe is me type shit, because I have a new life. I got a new breath with me expressing my music. And in my music at that time, I was telling the truth about everything. So it wasn't like I was doing this gimmicky ass shit for people to fuck with me. It was like, nah, I was just in my bag. I was just in my pen. So their response to it meant more than anything, because I was just being honest.
Yeah.
And that's why I just stuck to that kind of principle when I write music now.
Man, you don't like that's one thing that I take from your music. It's just a positive energy, a good. It's like the what you projecting in it is what I think I get from it. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's dope. Like, and the ability to do that though. That's why I thought you was a child prodigy. Like, I'm just thinking you a kid who just like this shit. I'm blown because your story is even more intriguing to me now. It's even more interesting. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to get too personal and get too deep into some of the experiences that you might have went through, but now I want to know more. Now I want to, I want to read the book.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
know what I mean? Like now I want to get in the studio. I want to have these conversations, and because you done sent me some beats before, you sent me a few beats, and I be getting mad at you. I'm like, you don't never send me the shit you be sending to them other people, because you got all hits. You know what I'm saying? Like everything I fucking hear, like everything somebody plays that says no is a fucking hit. And I'm like, damn, like why he don't send me no hits? And then I have to think, like maybe it's just I'm not making a hit. You know what I'm saying? Like that don't mean the record ain't a hit. Maybe I'm just not making a hit with the record. But
I had that conversation with somebody, but a lot of times that's like the situation that, like, when people come to the studio, they be like, this beat is fire, but like, give me some shit that you think is fire. But my thing is this, like, I'll break a beat down as simple as just how I attack it or what I'm saying that will probably connect with people. You know what I'm saying? So I think a hit is very like subjective. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, and where do you think these hits come from? Where do you think your emotions and your spirit and what you injecting in this music, where do you think it comes from?
Honesty. Anytime I feel like I got writer's block or some shit, I always tell myself, are you thinking too much or you trying to lie? You trying to come up with a clever way to say how you feeling without just saying how you feeling. So one of my practices is if I'm making a beat and I'm trying to write a song to it, I need to put my first thought down. Even if that first thought is, I don't feel like making this song right now. That's the first line of my song. So then I just go off of that.
That's dope. That's dope. I kind of do the same thing.
Yeah.
That's dope. Who are some of your influences when it comes to music? Like not just in engineering, and not just in producing, not just in writing, and not just in performance, but just influences.
Influences. Quincy Jones for sure. I literally maybe once a week watch a documentary of him making a Thrill album with Michael and how he was conducting shit and like flying people in and piecing all this shit together. Like I really just do homework on that type of shit, like people's studio sessions. I watched that one. I watched the Neptunes when they was creating the Justified album for Justin Timberlake, and how Chad was just in there on the guitar, Pharrell on the drums, and they are mumbling these hit records. Well, we know it's hit records. It started off as mumbles and shit. Like, is this shit cool? Yeah, it's fire. Well, let's try it.
Yeah.
Type shit. So I get my inspiration from that. Just like I remember like 3 albums that was like heavy, that had a heavy influence on me was the Black Album, NERD, Fly or Die, and Nas is Still Matter. I listened to them shits like for 2 years straight. I know every fucking word to every song on them albums. But that was a part of me like finding my space, my creative space.
And what do you think your space is? Where would you categorize your music, your production, your approach to engineering? Like, cause I can't just talk to you as an artist. When I ask you these questions, they gotta come from a wide range, cause you do so much. So where would you put you at in that world? Like, if these people who watching this interview right now, when they thinking of Nove the Zoner, who do you want them to kind of line you up with? Not in a person, but just in I guess you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. I think if you're watching this interview and you're trying to line me up with somebody, first I would just tell you to take a second and zone out. And wherever you go, that's who I am. That's where I am.
Okay, that's fair, because I say Kanye.
Yeah.
Not as the...
But Kanye is actually a good comparison because his mom was an English professor. My mom's an English professor.
Okay.
Yeah. He's a rapper, producer, same shit. So it makes sense.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, for sure.
See, look, now you telling me more. You opening up. That's what I'm saying. That's why we got to spend some more time together.
Yeah.
Because your story is so deep. It's so rich. You know what I mean? Like, it's so much more that people need to know about people like you. Back like I was saying on the other interviews, and I say on all the interviews, that's the purpose of bringing this back.
Absolutely.
Is because my friends are the Avengers. You know what I mean? If I'm at a beat conference somewhere in the world and it's people doing whatever and it's music and it's writers and producers and engineers and they say, who do you think is the best? You got, but I got somebody that I put up there.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know somebody who can compete right now. Hold on, let me call him.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's what you give us. Like when people looking at Arizona, they don't look at Arizona for what we really have to offer.
Right.
All they see is what's presented.
Right.
And it ain't their fault.
Right.
But that's just what's presented, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You come here, you turn on the radio in the morning, you hear who cheating on who down in the DM, who did this, who the gossip, to this, to that. But we don't have no real projecting for what look like us.
Right.
And you're a perfect example of Arizona for me. Like, I would love to be somewhere and they be like, hey, Nova's, hey, you know what I mean? Like, that's a perfect example of representing your home field and knowing, like, I'm proud of that. That's dope. That represents me. I look like that. I feel like that.
Absolutely.
I connect with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
And that being said, what made you go into that live performance that you did? Like, where did that even come from? And was those musicians, were those local musicians, or was that just something that you just came up with?
So last year I put out an album called The Ugliest Things, and I got tired of, like, one of my hobbies is, like, I watch, like, platforms that display new artists, like Tiny Desk, for example. So I'm like, I had to start training my mind to stop saying, when I get on, I'm gonna get on this platform, or when I get noticed a little more, then I could really start reaching out. I was like, man, fuck it, I'm gonna just do it myself. So I knew the musicians. I knew Big Baby, D. Reed, who was on the bass keys, Ashton, who was on the drums, and Big Baby had got the background singers. And I presented the idea to him. I was like, you think we could do this? And he was like, hell yeah. So I had to send them the stems to my whole album. So they played and did the musicality to something that I already produced, and we just put it all together and filmed it. And I Rock Daniels filmed it, and we put it out at the beginning of this year in February. It's called The Ugliest Things Live, where I just did a live rendition of my album, and it did like over 100K views, which was cool. And then that led into, like, okay, what can we do next? And then it was another thought, like, damn, I'm tired of, like, I gotta untrain my thought process to be like, oh, when people know me, then I can be on a festival. Or how the fuck do you get on a festival? And I have a great team around me where I just presented the idea, like, bro, I want to throw my own festival, and we gonna curate our own festival and call that shit the Zone Out Festival. And we did that shit, and we did that shit in September. We had 9 artists, and then me and the band headlined that night, and we filmed it, and it was crazy. I didn't really expect all them people to come out like that off of an idea that was like, that shit was hard to put together, but through the process I learned what it takes to actually produce a live show with live instruments and all that shit, and yeah, it was a dope turnout. So we gonna do it every year.
Yeah, that's dope, man. Congratulations on that too. That was your Kanye moment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that was something that's been done that can't be done again. We can do it, but I'm always gonna remember you for bringing us that first.
Yeah.
And that was dope. That was real dope. I saw it and I was like, whoa, this shit is crazy.
Yeah, it was
Like,
dope.
this shit is crazy. It's like I said in the beginning, there's a spirit that you project through your music that's special. You know, and I don't know if you engineers and y'all producers do that shit on purpose. I don't know if y'all touching frequencies or putting shit at megahertz and certain whatever decibels that we don't know nothing about.
Shit, I wish I knew.
But your shit is dope, man.
Appreciate
It's real dope. So what can the people look for in the future? What can they be looking forward to? What can they be?
With the Zone Out brand, I got a collective I'm working with, and we're gonna start dropping new music at the top of the year. Like I said, the Zone Out Fest will be every year, and it's gonna be a curated festival, just like you know Coachella every year. You get to see that lineup, like, damn, they about to perform at Coachella. That's how I'm gonna treat the Zone Out Fest and do it every year. Also, I've been working with B-Dot, who's an influencer, on Instagram, and trying to bring back the celebrity shootout, and Just something for I'm just trying to like do all the ideas and get back to that feeling that I had when I was a kid growing up in Arizona. And growing up in Arizona, you knew every year the celebrity shootout, or you knew every year was just something for us, where you was gonna see mad people. You know what I'm saying? That you knew. So with the celebrity shootout thing and the Zone Out Fest, that's what I'm trying to do.
That's dope.
Yeah. And just more music, man. I got a lot of music dropping next year for sure.
Where can we get this merch at, man?
On the website at norththezona.com.
Man, this bricks and bullets. This is
It's a collab hoodie we did last year.
This dope, bro.
Yeah.
I really like that.
Appreciate it.
Stitch count is crazy on that. That's like $100 hoodie, man.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. That's dope. That's dope. Like I said, everything you be doing is dope. You know what I'm saying? The vibe's crazy. I hope everybody who watching this is going to go check him out, tapping in, like, commenting, and subscribing on all his shit. Share. You know, we started a campaign called Each One Watch One. And it's hashtag Each One Watch One. And it's centered around everybody watching something.
Yeah.
So I'm challenging everybody out there to go watch one of his videos. Just watch one. Each one of y'all. Just watch one. You know what I'm saying? Just each one watch one. And I'm sure if you watch one of his, he'll watch one of yours.
Absolutely.
It's real easy. And these are the people y'all need to be tapping in. Have you done any work with Merkham's?
You know what? Me and Merk talked. I had sent him a joint. Like I had him in mind when I produced it. But we had some talks, man, for sure.
Yeah, send that guy some music, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's on to some great things. He's doing some great things. He's one of the next artists from around here who's gonna be doing something crazy. You need to make sure you on his project.
Yeah, his
his
energy and personality is unmatched.
Yeah, I'm a fan, bro.
Yeah.
I'm in the stands cheering for him. You know what I mean? Same way with you, same way with D2K, same way with Clee Dub and a few other ones. Like, there's some people around here I think really gonna go. And if we do what we can do with bringing the attention to you guys, then it's gonna be a dope opportunity. Like Lil Toure, it's so many. I could make a long list of people who I think can really go, but it's about providing a quality opportunity.
Absolutely.
Giving a platform that's valid, where people gonna even look at it and be like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know, like I was saying earlier, this interview, people gonna watch this interview. You know, and it's some people out there who don't know how dope you are. They don't even have a clue. They don't even know that you out here. They don't even know that you exist. And you got more fans than them. You got more views than them. You got more everything than them. And now it's time for you to start ascending to the masses.
Absolutely.
You know, because you're a great representation of us, man. Like, it's dope. Like, if y'all not behind it, you need to get behind it. You know what I'm saying? Like, straight up. Because I'm a fan.
Appreciate that.
First, I'm a fan first. Like I told you, when I came in the back of that warehouse, when I met you that first time, it was just like, whoa, I was blown away, and I haven't never.
What you don't know about that situation is I heard about you, but I heard like all the like entrepreneurial things that you were doing. So when you came to, I was called the Red Room.
Okay, yeah.
You came by the Red Room, and he was like, yeah, that shit is fire. That shit is dope. Me, I'm thinking about. That's the type of nigga that I'm like I would take game from, because that's what I'm trying to do, owning my own shit, or like saying I don't need nobody, I'm gonna go get my own shit. So your praise was taking more on my mind. Like, damn, if that nigga fucking with it, then I might be alright. Never got a chance to tell you that. Like,
yeah, no, that's dope. I appreciate it, man. Like, I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Because when I heard the music, I was like, whoa, this dude is like. You know, and you know the person who brought me over there, he's a good judge of good music. You know what I mean? But when I heard that, I was like, whoa! I was blown away, and that's why, like I say, back to again, that's why we doing this, because you guys need to be pushed to the front. You deserve it. You deserve. Everybody should be talking about you. There's no studio around here that shouldn't be talking about you. You know what I mean? There's no engineer around here that shouldn't be talking about you. No artist around here. No producer around here. Like, nobody around here should be busting no moves without being like, well, you know, Nove is. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And if we use these platforms that we have to give the validation to those who deserve it, then when my kids, or like I say, my son, he 10, he trying to bust. To him, he think, hey, Hypno, who be doing my son beats? Gamer Boy. My son, like, I just want a Gamer Boy beat. If it's not a Gamer Boy beat, I don't even. And my son is 10.
Right.
But he's already connected with Gamer Boy.
Yeah.
You know, he even got a song. He like Gamer Boy on the beat, so you know what I'm saying. Like it's just dope. Like and I think that this next generation and all these people, they need to be behind you. Like we need to help push you. Like stand on our backs. You can stand on my shoulders. You know what I'm saying. If you need to get a little bit higher, stand on my back. It's, that's cool. I'm not tripping. You know what I'm saying? I give you a boost. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even tripping because you deserve it, bro. You one of them ones that really deserve it, man.
I appreciate that.
Like straight up. But get these people your social media. Let them know where they can find you. If they trying to get a beat, if they trying to get a feature, if they trying to get some studio time.
Got you. On social platforms, everything is Nove the Zoner. You could also go to novethezoner.com to get merch. You can see all the list of services that I have. You can book a session through the site. So yeah, tap in with me. Yeah.
Man, that's dope. Y'all know what it is. And I keep telling you all the time that I have the super friends. The Avengers. My homies is the Avengers. We gonna battle Thanos. You feel me? I know if I need a beat, I'm calling Nove. Facts. He gonna arrange it and put it together where we get the most force and the most power from all the different sides. He gonna help me write the hook. He might write the hook. He might even sing it and rap it too. You never know. That's the most beautiful thing about dealing with talented people. Real artists who true to the craft and really love what they doing. You know what I'm saying? These is people that we need to support, man. You know, like really, really support those who are putting it on the line for us. You know, like, I'm not trying to get on. You know, it's kind of like I tell my kids about school. You don't got to pay attention in class. Your teacher she already got a degree. So you don't have to pay attention. Same situation right now. Y'all don't have to pay attention. No finna be famous regardless. You know, he finna get on regardless. You don't have to pay attention. So I think you should take this time to pay attention and tap in and try to get anything that you can get from him right now. Beats, verses, hooks. Just be his friend. Support him. Just try to do something. Share. Each one watch one. You know how we do it. That being said, like, comment, subscribe, follow the movement, man. Freeze TV, we trying to inject positivity into the world. This is what real Phoenix look like, man. This is what we really look like, real AZ. You know, Chandler, Mesa, Tempe, Phoenix, Tucson, Casa Grande, Glendale, you know, Goodyear, all that shit, Apache Junction, from the Dales to the Dales, you know what I'm saying? All that shit, man. Fuck with your boy, man. It's Freeze TV, and I'm out. Peace.